Okay, I'm gonna start this video off by saying Comcast really pisses me off. I understand that you have to do maintenance calls and stuff like that. I understand that wholeheartedly. But at the same time, I mean, I think they should give people like a warning or something. Send out a newsletter or put it on your website that on this particular day, we're going to be cutting your internet off from such and such time to such and such time for maintenance or something. You know, because sometimes they cut it off from midnight until like 6 in the morning. And what if you got people who work during the day who have to do schoolwork in the middle of the night or something like that? You don't give them no kind of warning that you're going to cut the internet off. Anyway, I was just sitting here recording a video, and it was just, I just so happened to look down and see that it wasn't recording no more. Because I do this from my webcam, because my digital camera is it's acting kind of weird. Anyway, yeah. So that was my little rant on Comcast. But anyway, um, what I decided to do, I decided to come on here and I was just watching this young lady's video. She did a video about low self-esteem, and one of the points that she was trying to get across in the video was that, a lot of people develop low self-esteem from something that happened to them when they were, of a younger age, and I totally agree with that because I've dealt with depression and low self-esteem and stuff like that for most of my life, and I'm still kind of going through a little bit of, having low self-esteem and stuff like that. I'm gradually um getting over it gradually, but it still kind of creeps up on me from time to time. um but she was saying how, she gave an example of when she was in uh elementary, that she was in a class with a bunch of light skinned girls, and she was the only dark skinned big girl, but there was this one light skinned kind of chubby girl, but she kind of teamed up with the other light skinned girls, and they picked on her and they called her, all kind of black this, and I've dealt with that. I've dealt with being called fat. I've dealt with being called ugly. I've dealt with being called black and stuff like that. So I know exactly where you're coming from. And the thing is, what a lot of people don't understand is it it happens when you're young, or it can happen when you're young, but a lot of times it kind of boils over to, when you're an adult. Like I said, I'm 24 now, and things happened when I was maybe 10, 11 years old that I'm still kind of holding a grudge by. Like I said, I pray about it all the time. For example, there's this one girl, when we were in grade school. She used to always pick on me. I mean, I had short hair. I was fat. I was really, really dark. I've kind of gotten a little bit lighter now, but I was really, really, really dark. My teeth were crooked. As you can see, my teeth they're spaced, but I've kind of grown into that. Um, but it's so sad because I'm 24 now. Things like that happened when I was maybe 10, 11 years old. And even when I was, in high school, I got picked on a little bit. But it's so sad because now sometimes when I see her, I just want to punch her in the face. And I be like, oh my God. Not that I don't actually do it, but, sometimes that thought comes across your mind when you're like, I just want to punch her in the face. And it's gotten so bad for me, as far as being picked on when I was younger, even in relationships. I've been with guys who tell me all the time, "You're so beautiful," I love you because you're so beautiful. I love your smile. I love your skin. I love your hair. Things like that. And by being ridiculed as a young child, it's hard to accept compliments from guys. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes you may blush, or you may take it in as a compliment, but a lot of times, I guess being picked on so much, a lot of times when a guy gives me a compliment, I'm like, oh, he's being funny, or he wants something from me, or he don't really think I'm pretty, you know. And it's sad, and I just had to sit there, and like I said, I had to pray so hard, you guys, because it got so bad to the point where I didn't want to leave my house. I felt like I was the ugliest person in the world, you know. And just sitting here thinking about it is it's so sad because there are some days when I look in the mirror where I'm like, I'm a bad girl. I'm cute. I look good. And then there's other days when I look in the mirror and I'm like, I don't like the person looking back at me. I mean, self-esteem and depression is something having low self-esteem and depression is something that's it's no joke. It's something that you really have to sit down and you have to pray upon. I mean, it had got so bad to the point where I literally fell to my knees in tears and I begged the Lord to just deliver me from the depression and um, having low self esteem and all that good stuff because I mean it was horrible. It was horrible. It was so horrible to the point where I used to just stare at myself in the mirror and cry. I used to stare at myself and cry because I didn't understand why he made me to be so ugly and made me this way. Until one day, like I said, I got on my knees and I cried and I begged the Lord to deliver me and I just started reading the Bible. I started reading the Bible and I honestly it's honestly like I'm not gonna say it just went away, but it's almost like after I start reading the Bible and I start praying every day and asking God to basically deliver me from the depression and having such low self esteem, it's almost like it just went away. I, I can't explain it, but it's almost like he just heard my cry and you know how a lot of times you can't just pray for something and expect it to happen right that instant. And it's weird because I mean it seems like I was just delivered like instantly. I just like I said, it's still times that I struggle with it, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. I mean, it was horrible to the point where, like I said, I was teased like really really bad when I was young. I mean, really 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 bad. Um, I didn't have a boyfriend all through high school. Um, my first boyfriend was when I was 19 when I started going to college. And it wasn't because I don't think it was because I was that bad looking because I don't think that I was. It was just kids teasing. That's what kids do. They tease. But I think it had a lot to do with me thinking guys only wanted one thing from me because I was always being told that I was ugly. I mean, I had guys that would tell me that they thought I was cute and they wanted to, take me out and stuff like that. But I would never take them up on it because I would always think that, they were out for one thing. So, but basically, my whole take on low self esteem and depression is, it's something that it's like I said, it's no joke. And, you just have to learn to love yourself. And if that doesn't work, you just have to pray. You have to pray and you have to ask God to deliver you from it. And you have to ask God to help you overcome that because that's having low self esteem and being depressed is a lot of times, in my personal opinion, it's something that you can't get through on your own. Well, at least it's not something that I got through on my own. Like I said, I dealt with it for years and years and years, and I'm still, kind of, dealing with it, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. So that's my little rant on Comcast and my whole take on my experience with low self esteem and depression. So just leave me some comments to let me know, if you guys have ever gone through having low self esteem and being depressed and all that good stuff. So I'll talk to you guys next video. Bye.